Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. I will leave the information like the decks and the dice below. Beyond that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below as well. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Cancer? They are who they are. They are who they are. One more. I feel like I've been trying my best to hold to a certain boundary. This is the Hierophant in most decks. I know, right? You have been trying your best to stay within acceptable bounds. I feel like I've been careful not to say certain things, or I feel like I've been trying to not poke the bear. Can we get like a little bit, like, what are we talking about? Especially if this is a work situation, which it doesn't have to be. I feel like I just don't want to argue. And I don't really feel like I don't know how to explain this. I've just stayed out of a lot of things. I've let a lot of things, you've probably let a lot of things go. A lot of things go. It's been fairly okay. Been trying to let a lot of things go. It's been fairly okay. There's a conflict coming in, though. I don't know. The conflict coming in, I'm not really sure what to do with it. The Devil card comes in on the dice. The Devil card is also showing up on in the deck soon. The conflict comes in, I don't know what to do with it. In fact, I might just kind of not do anything at first, because I'm like, I just feel like I'm kind of like, we were getting along. Why does this have to be a problem now? I don't know what to do with it. I know there's another level to this, but I don't know if it's going to come through or I have to roll the dice again, but I think it's almost like the conflict is not between you and this person. It's a third party creating a situation, and that's where the conflict is coming in. Is the conflict happening right away? It kind of is. Okay. What is Cancer's involvement with the conflict when it shows up? I almost feel like it's kind of like maybe I need to be involved with this. I've been trying to not poke the bear. I've been trying to play nice, whatever that means. I've been just trying to let it go. But this is kind of like, I don't know if I can do that on this one. This is a little different. I don't really like this. The other stuff that's been passing, it's kind of like, well, it's kind of been one of those like, well, what is it going to matter? If I say something, is it going to really make things better? Well, I guess I don't need to say things. Well, I can let that go. Well. This one, on the other hand, is like, I don't know about that. It's got, I've been letting some things go, but I think we're kind of pushing it here. Okay. The devil was on the dice. The devil is showing up in the cards. How does the devil look for Cancer? I know it goes better later, but like there's a moment coming up, and hopefully this is setting you up for success. Work needs to be done. I don't like the decision that was made. Somebody's made a decision. There's a third party energy again. A third party energy. Somebody has made a decision. I don't think it's about trying to change that decision. In fact, I would be careful of that. You got to do what you think is right. These readings are for entertainment purposes only. General read, whatever you got to throw in there. Take it with a mountain's worth of salt. But I feel like we're going to have a lot of problems if I try to redirect this energy, or if I try to get somebody to change their mind. I feel like that's very... I see like some very nasty barbed wire. In fact, I don't know if you call it barbed wire because it looks worse than that. Like, I think they use it around prisons. Whenever I'm seeing it, like, it's really nasty stuff. Like, it does not look like it's a good time. There is something else here, though. Trying to change somebody's mind may not work. In fact, it might get pretty nasty. But there is addressing what the actual, like, why they made that decision. There is some addressing of that. Instead of trying to change the decision, addressing, like, why was that the decision? And coming to the truth of the matter. I don't think this is a fail, whatever that means. Like, does Cancer have the ability to help this go in a better way, or is this... Are we just accepting things, or are we... No, you do. You have the Empress. And then there's the reduction of stress. So we got to reduce the stress first, and then you may have the ability to help. Whatever this initial decision is, it is what it is. It's beyond that we're looking at. And once the stress is brought down a lot, the stress has to come down first. Then there's possibilities here. That's how it's coming out on the dice anyway. Gotta choose carefully. Is that what this says? Choose your path. I keep getting like choose carefully. Identify the truth that's already here. Somebody has made up their mind and they are not really bending on it. It's more about finding out why they made their choice and then choosing carefully how it's being addressed and trying to address like what's the actual problem that got this person to choose what they chose. So it's kind of like, you know, if somebody's having a wedding and somebody else has said they've like, you know, declined, I'm not going. If they're not going, they're not going. And you're kind of like, yeah, but that's going to make a lot of people upset, blah, 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 blah. I understand where you might be like, yeah, but I'd rather they went. They've already made their decision. I would kind of go into it kind of like, well, why did they make that decision? And then is there a possibility to change later the connection between these people? They don't want to go, they don't want to go. I know that because I keep seeing this, like some people get really bent out of shape with that type of stuff. I don't know. This is how it's coming through. I'm just going with it. So, but it's kind of like maybe after everything's all said and done, maybe there can be a more positive energy later. I don't know. I feel like that one was kind of a harsh, because it's kind of like maybe we can invite people to have like a dinner party or have a small party later, just kind of like see if people can get along and see maybe we can figure out what the problem really is here. There's a possibility for a better situation. For now, they're saying right now is not the solving point. Fixing it now isn't seeming to be an option. Addressing it in a different way and kind of giving it time to get better, that may work. Forcing it may make it 10 times worse than it already is. I'm not saying this is the ideal way. I'm not saying this is really the way you want it to play out. But like when I'm looking at this from the outside, it's like you have two choices. If this reading is hitting, take it with a grain of salt. You know how that goes. try to force a correction and end up possibly making it 10 times worse, or waiting, taking it slowly, biding your time, and then over time there could be some healing. There could be things going in a more positive direction over time. Because I feel like they're saying this isn't the time to fix it. Whatever the problem is, and people are complicated, there may be levels here that you don't know about. You definitely don't want to be the scapegoat for these people, whatever's going on here. Be careful of that. You got the strength to do this. Healing is possible, but not right now. The Four of Swords came in a little wonky, kind of saying, healing could happen, but not right now. It's just the timing. Other people have to feel empowered. If people feel like their boundaries are respected, there is a possibility that things could move forward. But the people who feel like their boundaries are in jeopardy, they have to feel empowered first before that can actually move forward. If they feel like their boundaries are being respected and they're being left to do it the way they want to do it, they might be more open to listening to possibilities later. What is that for Cancer? Not everybody's going to get along. Not everybody's going to get along. You could have positive connections with multiple people, and they may not get along with each other. And I feel like that can be very difficult for Cancer, because when Cancer cares about people, it seems to me that Cancer would prefer everybody get along and kind of understand, like, we can all be good here. If they at least get along with you, though, there's possibilities, and there's at least there's a level of decorum. Decorum? Okay. All right. So it's better if they at least get along with you. It's better. But I think that's why they're saying if you push things forward, it makes sense why you would want to, but I'm just getting, not only does it backlash, but I feel like if you're not getting along with certain people either, there's even less chance of this going a good direction. If you're at least the point of contact where everybody is liking at least you, there's possibilities there. I don't think there's any guarantee that this is going to go better later, but they're saying this is the best chance for things to go better later. Take it with a grain of salt. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.